Hi, I'm Bruce Craig from Eastern Slopes Productions, and I'd like to welcome you again to our channel. It's almost Christmas time. We're in not so much lockdown, but we are in heavy restrictions, so there's not a whole lot more to do this time. Can't go anywhere, can't do anything. So I thought we'd take you back a little bit and show you a trip that we did to BC, some of the highlights. So we left Alberta, headed into BC. Most of our driving was done at night, so there wasn't a lot to see or film. Most of the trip through BC was done in the dark. So there's quite a gap between Banff and the BC ferry. So we boarded the ferry at the Horseshoe Bay Terminal, prepared for the hour and a half or so trip across the Georgian Strait, and took a little time to do some sightseeing and to catch up on a bit of rest, since we've been driving all night long. After leaving Nanaimo, we headed into Port Alberni. We had some lunch there and then continued on up the highway. Being in May and springtime, it always seems to bring out the bears, wildlife. So I had to stop and catch this guy. So we spent 4 days at Greenpoint Campground, right along Long Beach, and spent a lot of time just exploring the beach, watching the surf, picking up shells, just more or less relaxing. It's a beautiful place. If you're ever out that way, I would highly recommend staying here. It was very peaceful, especially this time of year. Not very many people there. As you can see on the beach, we had it all to ourselves most of the time. We are in close proximity to Tofino and Euclid. Only about 15-20 minutes away either way. And what would a national park be without the red chairs? Sitting here peacefully watching the surf as it comes in. So on our last night, we had gone down to the docks to find a fishing guide, and we took the kids out for their very first attempt at salmon fishing out on the ocean. We were told that the seas weren't as calm as the guide had liked, and he wasn't able to take us to where he wanted to those. Trip out the inlet was nice, but as we got out onto the open ocean, you can see that the roller started. Motion sickness wasn't too far behind. We probably managed to stay out about 2 hours. And it was right near the end that the guide started to feel sorry for us and decided that it was a little too rough. We weren't enjoying ourselves, so we headed back in, fishless. Not about to let us off the boat without some sort of excitement. We were very soon introduced to Hector. Hector was the local sea lion that came out to meet this guide every time he came back to be fed the leftover bait. So it was kind of neat to see this up close. Even as we fired up the engine and started to depart, old Hector didn't want to give up. You can see he pops up here, starts to follow us again. There he is. Overlooking the docks is the Euclid Aquarium. I highly suggest that you take this in if you make your way to Euclid. It's quite hands-on. It's very interesting. Good guides that will walk you through and tell you about the aquatic creatures and whatnot. It's pretty cool. On our way back, heading west, we stopped in just outside of Coombs, BC, to check out Butterfly World. It's kind of a quaint little garden. It's got some indoor butterfly enclosures and temperate modified climates. The butterflies can survive most of the year. Just a little farther down the road is a local must-see. It's the Coombs Old Country Market. Goats on the roof. And yes, there is goats on the roof. It seems to be the biggest draw. The market inside is it's pretty extensive. A lot of variety of different goods. There's craft goods and food goods and whatnot. So don't pass this one by. Here we are, we're in the rainforest in between Eucalypt and Tofino, just outside Greenpoint Campground where we've been staying for the last 4 days. Straggler back there. It's actually pretty incredible to walk through here and to see the size of some of these these Douglas fir, and to think back, to think about how long they've actually been there. Like some of these trees, I'm sure, would have been smaller trees at the time that Captain Vancouver explored this area. The size of some of these cedar trees is absolutely mind-blowing. How big around they are. It's just incredible and peaceful to walk through here.
We're in Cathedral Forest, Cathedral Grove, just east of Port Alberni.
Giant Douglas fir, redwoods, like they are.
It's an interesting find. A new tree growing out of an old tree. Here we are at Rathtrevor Beach at Brooksville. And we have walked, I don't know how far we walked out, a low tide. Probably about halfway to the ocean's edge.
Everywhere you walked, there was little crabs, there was sea urchins and sand dollars. Fisherman's Wharf in the south end of Victoria Harbour is a place that you should not miss. I didn't get any of the footage of the market and the vendors and stuff on the docks, but the wildlife within the city limits is pretty neat to see. And of course, being a tourist hub, there is no shortage of floatplanes. In fact, there's more floatplanes per hour than you would see cars coming off the ferry. And this floatplane just ruined his hunt. So the tail end of our trip has found us back at Nanaimo, boarding the ferry again, and making our way home. It was quite an enjoyable trip, and I really recommend heading out to the island. If you haven't been, you have to go there. The scenery is incredible. The weather in early spring is, at least it was for us, absolutely amazing. And of course, being early in the season, there wasn't very many people, which made it even more enjoyable and more pleasurable. So that was our trip to Vancouver Island. Hope that you enjoyed it. Hope that you maybe saw something that piqued your little interest. Definitely head there. Thanks for watching.
Hopefully you like what you saw. Follow the channel, hit the like button, hit subscribe to keep updated on our upcoming content through this winter, through this restriction. We want you to come along, see what we see, and appreciate your support.